What's up, guys? Welcome to a new video. This video is going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be strategies. It's not going to be break and retest, VWAP balance, bounces, rejections, reversals, none of that. Strategies are important, but this is going to be a system video where systems are even more important because you could have this strategy, which is what everyone puts their focus on, but not enough people put their focus on the system. And so I created this dashboard so that you guys can adjust and play with it. I'm going to show you guys a little bit about my system, especially on the future side. I found the $200 rule here works amazing on the future side. And of course, if you guys have your own system, you guys can mess with this dashboard, which I'll link in the description below for completely free. Um, and yeah, you guys can mess around with that. So my $200 rule on futures, I also bought an evaluation today and used this rule just to show you, just to make this video and just kind of show you guys. So basically, what it is I am not risking more than $200 on any single trade. If I'm trading NASDAQ, then if I'm trading the micros, or let's say I'm trading the minis, I don't like to risk more than 10 points to go and make 15 to 20. So I'm risking about 200 to go and make 300 to 400. Okay, the, it's literally having a 2 to 1 arc, basically, right? It is it having this right here. This is the most important thing that traders need to focus on, your risk reward ratio. And so if you have even, you could be profitable even with a 50% win ratio if this is your risk reward ratio. And that's why this is the most important thing to really focus on. Of course, strategy is important. You have to learn something that is going to provide these ratios. But what sets a lot of traders back is breaking the system, right? Because you could go and catch a 50-point move, but let's say you go and lose 400 on your next trade, you just give back what you made, right? And so the whole point is to not one oversized loss erases multiple wins, which is a problem that I see traders have. And at that point, you are not running a system, you're gambling. And so therefore, if you focus on the system, you can losing is a part of the game. I like, for example, on today's evaluation, I was not perfect. I lost 40% of the time. I only had a 60% win ratio. But guess what? I followed the system and I made 1500 today. Yes, I took a lot of scalps today, and that's totally fine. Yes, there's going to be those days where you catch one or two setups that you do go and catch that 30-point move, the 40-point move. And those are the best days. You want to be trading as less as possible. Catch your setup and get off the screens. But in these market conditions right now, it's kind of like we're in the range, and you kind of, for me personally, I'm kind of scalping some of these moves. It's harder for me to kind of hold through those bigger moves in these conditions. But once we're trending, you risk 200 to go and make that 400, 600, 800. Like there's going to be those setups that do present themselves, right? So let me show you guys right here. As you guys can see, 60% win ratio. I made about 300, 280, 200. And when I lost about 245, which is breaking the system. I broke the system by $45, which puts me at risk. And so I have to tighten it. This is me still working on it, right? This is like, there's always work and improvement that has to be done. But you guys can see, for the most part, it's at that area. It's at that $200 area. And the loss and the wins are about 300, 280, 200, 300. I'm still making more than 200. So still making more than what I'm risking. And so one loss did not wipe out my three wins. Two losses back to back did not go and wipe out my wins. So I'm still green on the day, and you can see the losses get smaller. It gets smaller. Of course, you can, if you're not getting a good read on the market, then you stop out before, right? You could always do that as well. But for the most part, on the losses side of things, I lost 145 here, lost 220 here, which is breaking the system. Keep it in that. So sometimes it'll be off by, like, for example, when I'm counting my points, if I count 10 points, 200, but then the wick's a little bit lower, that's why sometimes it could be like a little bit more like on the 220 side of things. But for the most part, I'm calculating 200 before I even get into the trade, right? I'm counting my candles, making sure I'm not trying to risk more than 200. And this is the most important thing when it comes down to it. Stats over feelings, right? You don't need to be right 70% of the time. The system works at a 50% win ratio. Literally, all you need to do is be right 50% of the time. Can you be right 50% of the time? And when you do, can you catch double what you're making? Or at least, you know, if you're gonna risk 10 points, can you go and make 15? that's going to help because even if you don't double what you make, what you're risking, 400 would be doubling what you're risking. Even if you only make 300 with a 50% win ratio, guess what? If you lost five trades, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's like losing 1,000. But if you make 3 times 5, then that's making 1,500. It still outweighs the losses, right? And of course, with the good strategy, your win rate is going to be better. I mean, it's very hard to have a 80, 90% win ratio. That's very impressive if a lot of people do, right? But even with the 80, 90% win ratio, if someone's risking that, look, for example, let's say someone has a 90% win ratio, but they're losing 500 per trade. Let me see. I mean, if someone wins 80% of the time, but they're like, I don't know, I'd have to mess, I'd have to really plan it out. But for example, I could mess with it and figure it out, but I don't even want to like edit this video and make it too long. But you guys get the point, right? If someone has a 80% win ratio, but one loss wipes them out because they don't have a a system, it doesn't matter, right? They could still be red, but you could still be green with a 50 to 60% win ratio if your risk is that, right? And so just goes to show, I'm not gonna make this video too long. You guys can mess with this tool. I made it completely free. I hope you guys find value in it for all the future traders. Maybe I'll make one for options soon. Probably do. I'm actually creating before this video ends. I'm creating a free dashboard that logs your trades and helps you create a trading budget. I'm honestly very happy with the way it's coming out so far. It's amazing. I can't wait to share it with you guys. Outside of that, I did partner with Vanquish as well. You guys can use code LEX for 20% off and a free reset on any account. It is the first options trading platform. Outside of that, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. Peace.